Good morning and welcome everyone to another edition of the Morning Brief with Jimmy Song and Tone Ways. My name is Valentin Schmidt and I'll be the host. And we're going to kick off straight away with an exciting story about the US Olympians, precisely the Winter Olympians, the Luge team. And they said they want to accept Bitcoin as donations. And one of the representatives, he said, we've looked at Bitcoin hard, and it's definitely a risk-reward we understand and are eager to take. Jimmy, what do you think about that?
Well, I find it hilarious and kind of fun, right? Like, I don't know, like, it's not like a bobsled where you can, like, have, like, a nice logo on the side, but the fact that we can, like, sort of support Olympians and stuff, it's fun. Ty Danko, he's an investor in Bitcoin. He follows me on Twitter and stuff. He's quoted in this story. I had no idea he was a former Luge Olympian. So go Ty. I had no idea. But yeah, he backs a lot of startups and things. You know, he backed a startup of mine way back when. So thumbs up to Ty. Thumbs up to USA Luge. Please donate and like make this like really interesting. You know, and cheer for USA Luge. Hopefully they get gold and we can replace gold and they can call it like Bitcoin medals or something like that.
I'm afraid that Germany is going to win the gold on that one. What do you think about that?
We'll see. We'll see. Hey, Jimmy, can you pull up their Twitter handle?
Let me see here. I think it's just Twitter.
No, I have it. I have it up on my end. It's I just like you're just the one doing the screen share. It's USA_Luge.
Okay, Luge. All right. The USA Luge. There it is. Yeah. Wow.
All right. Yeah. So it's actually all over their Twitter, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great to help them out. We got to start a dialogue. Maybe they can put the logo on their uniforms or something, right? Because you're right. It's not like a bobsled where you can put it all over the, the contraption. I don't even know what the hell you call that thing. I guess a bobsled. But
it's a luge. That's the thing that you go on. It's called the luge.
No. But like the luge, there's no room on it, right? There's no room to put like Bitcoin logos on it, right? On a luge. That's what I'm saying. It's not like a bobsled, unfortunately.
They can have it. They can have it
on their uniform.
Yeah.
Uniform or their helmet, maybe. Maybe get a nice prominent logo. Like, how much money do they need for it to be on the helmet? That's what I want to know.
Right. Let's. There should be goals, right? There should be specific goals, kind of like a Patreon page, right? Like, hey, if we get this much in donations, we'll have like a little one. If we have this one, we'll get like custom-made helmets for Bitcoin helmets. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's hopefully get a bunch of donations.
USA Luge, you have to tell us how much we need for like a nice prominent logo on the helmet, how much for like a prominent logo on your uniform, how much for a prominent logo on the luge itself. You know, I mean,
yeah, and also it depends on the rules, right? Like, are they even allowed to like pick their own like logos and stuff and add them? Like, it's not like NASCAR, right, where you get to put your
even the backboard there, you see how like they have like the press board in the back, like just have Bitcoin somewhere on there, you know, like I'd settle for that.
We need it. Yeah, we really need the promotion, and clearly they're smart enough that they're actually using Bitcoin.
Remember where the Winter Olympics is this year. It's going to be in Pyeongchang, Korea. Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal.
Korea. Wait, where am I thinking? The World Cup's in Russia, right?
Yeah. But it's going to be in Pyeongchang, Korea, and you know how Koreans feel about Bitcoin. That's going to be a big deal.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so it should be cool.
Support the US Lugers. I would like to finish the quote by Gordy Shear, who said, we hear a lot of jokes about luges being crazy and people don't know why we do it. But luge is something that gets into your blood and transforms your life. And the Bitcoiners we've met know exactly what it's like to be all in on something that the world doesn't appreciate yet. So definitely some synergies there between Bitcoiners and lugers. But let's jump to the next story. So the US feds, the federal police, the government, they are probably kicking themselves because they sold 50,000 Bitcoin or something to Tim Draper in 2000 14 for a pittance, which would not be worth billions. So now they seized slightly less Bitcoin, only 513, as part of a drug case in Salt Lake City, and they are trying to offload them. They're only worth 8.4 million now, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy how rich these governments are getting off of like the Bitcoin price increase, right? Like, we had that Bulgaria story a few days ago. Obviously, the Ross Ulbricht Silk Road stuff. They seized like 200,000 coins or something. They've sold them all off more or less. So it's kind of getting crazy, and I have suspect that this will be sort of a new way for them to fund a lot of stuff. Going forward, I'm looking forward to the next auction. I'm sure it will draw a lot of interest and a lot of people that will want to get in, more or less like an OTC desk. Getting 8.4 million out of Bitcoins without causing a slippage in price is actually pretty valuable.
Tone, don't you think the government should just hold on to the Bitcoins and make some money?
No. The government should be selling those Bitcoins to the people immediately. And people, and I'm talking to you, those that are participating in the gray markets, please do a better job protecting your Bitcoin so that the government stops getting it from you. Please hire some consultants, get Armory, get Trezors. Stop letting the government get your money. That's just bad. But yes, no, they should sell it immediately. I'm very happy that the government is not sitting on $1 billion worth of Bitcoin from the Silk Road bust.
Yeah, and Tim Draper, I'm sure, is also very happy about that because he bought them fairly cheap. Next story, BitPay will process payments on multiple blockchains, starting with Bitcoin Cash. Now, they've handled payment for Bitcoin a long time, and obviously we all know about the limitation of the core chain when it comes to transaction speed, etc. So they've had some issues with that also, and now they start with Bitcoin Cash, which supposedly allows for faster transactions. Tone, what's your opinion on that?
This is just bad. I'm not surprised. BitPay is a wholly owned subsidiary of Bitmain. So I'm not surprised that they no longer care about Bitcoin, and they're now looking to just scam a bunch of people. I can't wait to watch people on the BitPay system lose their Bitcoin by sending them to Bitcoin Cash addresses because it's the same address notation. So if they want to do that to their users, if they want to dilute the brand, if they want to create brand confusion, then this is what they're doing. As we'll get to in our next story, this is pretty much the equivalent of selling uneducated people Chuck E. Cheese tokens and pretending they're Bitcoin.
Jimmy, what do you think? Isn't this necessary for BitPay to enable faster transactions right now until we get the Lightning Network and other scaling solutions?
Yeah, this is, I don't know why they picked Bitcoin Cash. If they wanted super fast transactions or something like that, you could use Litecoin, Feathercoin. There's a ton of other coins that you can be using. If that's really their goal, that should be the way to do it. They're only using Bitcoin Cash because they were signers of the 2X agreement, and they sort of want to continue down that path. It's not really that big of a surprise to me. Again, businesses make their money off of transactions. Most people use Bitcoin as a store of value, not medium of exchange. I always tell people about the beef jerky I bought back in 2013, where I paid 2.25 Bitcoin for $100 worth of beef jerky. Regret that purchase very much. It's now $4,500 of beef jerky. It was good beef jerky. It wasn't $4,500 worth of beef jerky, though. And that's kind of what people are doing oftentimes when they pay with it. That's it. With Bitcoin Cash, they're trying to gain momentum on that stuff, get more people to use it. I don't know. It's the security of that network just isn't at the same level as Bitcoin, and to me, that's the bigger issue. is that, you know, Bitcoin Cash just isn't as secure. They have one developer more or less on Bitcoin ABC. And, you know, they have some reviewers, I guess. Supposedly there are more implementations. But it doesn't have the developer ecosystem. It doesn't have the security that Bitcoin has. So I'm not really going to use it. And, you know, that's really it.
So this is...
Hey, Jimmy, you realize you said they have one developer, and then you said more or less.
Yeah, it could be less, I suppose.
So this is interesting because on the one hand, there are solutions to accept faster payments until the core protocol scales. Jimmy named a few. However, politically speaking, because BitPay is a subsidiary of Bitmain, rather than going for some of these more tested and secure versions like Litecoin, especially, it's been around for ages.
Or how about simply BitPay starts using what do you call them, SegWit addresses? Are they yet?
I don't know. I don't use BitPay for stuff, so it's kind of hard.
Or they start using SegWit addresses to get the maximum out of what the core protocol has to offer. They seem to choose the political solution and go with Bitcoin Cash. And Tone, you said this was similar to selling tokens, Chuck E. Cheese tokens, as Bitcoins. You think it's the same? It's a scam?
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
So that's our next story, where a New York man has been arrested after he reportedly made over $1 million selling Chuck E. Cheese tokens as Bitcoins on the street. So people bought some tokens, the physical tokens, and thought they were Bitcoin. Amazing.
Yeah, this you know, I didn't think people were this stupid, but obviously he put a B on the front or something and utilized Chuck E. Cheese tokens, which are really, really cheap to get at Chuck E. Cheese, as any parent knows. But yeah, I find this story kind of sad and hilarious at the same time. Sad because there are so many people that are so desperate for Bitcoins that they're going around and you know, like, just going on Craigslist or something, or I don't know where they find this guy, but like saying, hey, let's go buy some Bitcoins, and they buy like one of these little coins for like $18,000. Like, really? You think that's what a Bitcoin is? Go do some educating. Yes, I mean, you got to give it to this guy. He's pretty smart in thinking that he can get away with this. And you know, I bet you there's more. I mean, if this guy was arrested, there's probably like 10 other people like him, like doing the exact same thing, like selling to people that don't know very much, that haven't looked at any of these videos, and think that, you know, this is what Bitcoin is. So, yeah, what can I say? You go educate yourself. Go educate other people. You'd be doing them a favor and telling them, hey, don't buy Chuck E. Cheese tokens. It's actually like you know, utilize some well-known service or something like that.
Expensive education. How is this similar to the Bitcoin Cash BitPay, Tone?
Oh, it's exactly the same. Like, if I had like more free time, if somebody wants to do this for me, just take a picture of this article, replace the guy's picture with a picture of Stephen Pear, and then replace the back image of the Chuck E. Cheese tokens with Bitcoin Cash logos. And then retweet the same picture out, right? It's the article with the same headline and everything, right? It's pretty much the same thing. And Jimmy, and you're right, this happens actually a lot. I mean, I was talking to like a Bitcoin dealer. I think this was in Canada, and literally someone like made a deal with him to sell Bitcoin. It was like, yeah, I have some Bitcoin to sell you as local Bitcoins. And then he shows up to buy the Bitcoin, and a person is selling him some old coin he's never heard of. This guy's in the space. And then the person was like, yeah, no, I bought this. This is Bitcoin. He's like, no, this is not Bitcoin. I haven't even heard of this thing. It was some other, like, you know, token. It was like number 240 on the market cap list. Like, you have to look it up. No, it's bad. It gets bad, and again, the more companies there are that believe in these, you know, Chuck E. Cheese tokens or whatever else, Bcash tokens, like the worse it's going to get.
So the bottom line is education is critically important because before you put your money on the line. So don't get into the hype and do your homework before pulling the trigger. That's what Tone and Jimmy are for, and there's a lot of other resources on the internet. Guys, we have some time before we get to the price. Shall we pull up the story about the CryptoKitties that we didn't get to on Saturday?
Let me see.
Sure,
if I
go
can
for
find it. Give me a minute. Where was the CryptoKitties?
Well, at the least, it should be in our group chat. Though you are sharing screen, Jimmy. So
oh yeah. Well, no, I'm sharing the screen with you, but the viewers can't see it. Yeah.
And it was on Medium, I think, right?
Yeah. So hopefully, yeah, there it is. All right. And I will bring this over to the screen that everyone can see. There we go. Do you really own your CryptoKitties? Spoiler, no.
Okay, Jimmy, why don't you give us a bit of backdrop about what CryptoKitty actually is and what it intends to do, and then we go into the ownership discussion, because this is for our viewers, it will be interesting to learn how Ethereum actually works when it actually does something.
Yeah, so Ethereum has this, you know, a smart contract platform, and essentially what CryptoKitties is you get a kitty based on some like the transaction ID or something like that of your like your birthing transaction of a CryptoKitty, and they're all more or less unique. And you can see what they look like. They have different features, and you can breed them and make new ones, and it's absolutely devastating the Ethereum blockchain because there's just so many transactions. Anyway, what the article is arguing is that you don't actually own your CryptoKitty because these CryptoKitties are copyrighted by the corporation that created the CryptoKitties game. So as a result, it's not like a baseball card where you actually own the card. You just have some transaction on the network. You don't actually have the CryptoKitty. So it's you don't really own anything, is what this article is saying. You don't really, the terms of service don't give you a license or anything. It's just, you know, it's fun because you know, you can go breed kitties and spend your Ethereum that way, and things like that. But it's you don't actually own them, right? Like they're still copyrighted by the company. So it's that's what this was talking about, and this is actually kind of true. Like, yeah, you don't own anything, and you know, it's a fun game, I guess, and you can try to sell, you know, other CryptoKitties, and I mean, it's sort of like an object lesson in tokens in many ways. You can make your own token and sell it and see what happens. It's like a mini economy. But yeah, it's the copyright issues are definitely there. You don't actually have a CryptoKitty. What you own are like actual Ethereum, Ethereum.
So aside from the copyright, I think a couple of interesting aspects about the story. So basically, this is one of the few occasions in the virtual space where Ethereum actually does something, where you can have a contract and you can pay for it, and it's sort of, well, it works, right? The intention that they deliver on the promise. However, as you mentioned, when it does work, it clogs up the blockchain. So now Ethereum slowed down massively just because they have a lot of kiddies on it. And you are also saying that you can buy them, but you can't sell them.
Well, no, you can buy them, you can sell them to other people, but you don't actually own anything. You just have some transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. That's it. And
so you can't cash out?
You can cash out. You can sell it to other people. It's just, you know, like what they're talking about is Axiom Zen owns all of the artwork. They're the creator of CryptoKitties. So really, like, what the hell do you own? That's really the question.
Tone, what do you think?
Well, let me start off by saying terms of service and copyright is exactly what the blockchain was about and to give us. And also, don't forget to back up all of your CryptoKitty transactions on the blockchain. So how much simpler and more useful would this have been on a centralized database?
Really easy. In fact, I'm sure it would have. Yeah, I'm sure you could do that right now. I mean, the only hard part would be the payment aspect, and You know,
why can't they just use Bitcoin?
Or PayPal.
Yeah, I mean, I think PayPal would be very much easy. In
I
fact,
mean, I don't think there's anything illicit in that one. Yeah, they could have just used credit cards.
yeah, it could be like an iOS app or something like that. It would be really
Can't
easy.
they just, can't they just like link directly to your credit card in your, app
Yeah,
store?
there are all sorts of collectible card games out there that do exactly that. So I would imagine it would be very similar to CryptoKitties, except CryptoKitties would be a lot lamer because you can't do anything with the kitties.
All right. Okay. So here's the question. So which people are, what's the politically correct term here? Dumber. The ones buying the Chuck E. Cheese tokens from that guy on the street that you saw a mugshot of, or the people trading in this nonsense?
Well, I would say the Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, I would still say Chuck E. Cheese because, like, yeah, at least these guys know how to make a crypto kitty and birth them or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
So to surmise, this project is interesting because it actually works. There's no doubt about it. However, it could have easily and better and cheaper be done on a centralized server because the CryptoKitties are controlled centrally anyway, so no decentralization necessary.
Right, but then you can't sell people the bullshit of a decentralized blockchain.
Yeah.
So it's again, it's a bunch of hype, and then because it works, it actually damages the blockchain. Where, by the way, all the future valuable contracts are supposed to be on there. To your real estate, your birth certificates, everything else is going to be on there with the CryptoKitties. And then when you want to download it, it's going to be slower because you have a bunch of useless stuff on there as well. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really lame game. Somehow it's caught on because that's how lame Ethereum can be, I guess. Or Ethereum's that boring. But I mean, if this were an iOS app, nobody would play this. I mean, really? Actually, challenge to all of you. Make this an iOS app that's completely centralized. See how many people actually use it. I have a feeling it wouldn't be very many.
Good. So let's get to something more exciting, which is the Bitcoin price. Last time we were together, the three of us broke through 18,000 on Bitstamp. In the meantime, we hit 19, and now we are correcting a bit. Tone, what's the outlook for the future? And unmute yourself.
Yeah, you need to unmute yourself. Yeah, there we go.
And unmute. All right, gotcha. All right, here's the long-term view, and looks good to me. This is the weekly chart. We had a little smidge of red that got everybody's panties in a bunch, but the last time we did the show was 48 hours ago, so this show totally missed this dip. While on my show yesterday, I did cover it. So the weekly chart still looks good. The week has just started today, and I'm still looking for 7 more weeks of upside according to my indicators. And let's see if we can get above this trend line. Let's head over to the daily chart. The daily chart is also still bullish. We have a green 6 in our run up to a 9, where things tend to take a little bit of a break. Things took a break on this 9 here. They took a break on this 9, a big break. They took a tiny little 1-day break on this 9, though not on this one. Hey, nothing's perfect. Took a little break here, and now hopefully we'll hit another one. If the 9 comes on a blow off top, then that could be very, very clear that it's time to take some profit on your trade. But still bullish, no signs of serious trouble yet. Next candle will probably still be a 7. After that, it gets a little tricky. Here's the 4-hour chart. I don't remember what arrows I drew. Let's see here. So today is the 18th. So that means we would have done the show on the 16th in the morning. So the 16th around 7 a.m. So that was the last time we did the show. So we were in this area, and I had these arrows coming in from a little pullback. That worked out. I covered this 9 on my show pretty much a little bit after it happened, and these arrows really worked out, though this one not yet. Let's see how this 4-hour candle, it's over in about 30 minutes. So let's see if we can get back up here a little bit. It's possible that the down move off of the futures launch is already over. Here's the 1-hour chart. It's a little bit choppy here. Not really helpful. I mean, the bad thing is I was hoping that the moving average would hold up the price. Instead, we did below the moving average, and it's now acting as resistance. So let's see if we can get above that resistance. These were the arrows I drew in my video on the hourly chart. Obviously, didn't work out that way. But yeah, so the hour is choppy. The 4-hour is the one I would be paying attention to right now. If we can get above these candles and kick off a brand new count to a 9, we could easily go up to about 21,000 before another, pullback. So let's see if we can get there. And the daily will give us maybe 3 more days of upside. Again, 21, 22,000. Things are just bullish right now. No signs of a bear yet. Oh, and my usual disclaimer. Please, those of you that are interested in trading and those of you that are confused by the numbers on top of the candles, please go to libertylifetrail.com, educational tools, learn trading, and that stuff is covered in section 6. If you are not an expert at sections 1 to 5 and you are reading section 6, expect to lose all your money if you are a trader.
And when's your next seminar, Tone?
Oh, my next seminar is definitely going to be in Singapore. I have the date, I have the time and place. I need to actually buy a flight to Singapore, and I still need to find out a venue in Singapore. So if you are, if you're a company in Singapore and you have a conference room for about 20 people and you're willing to donate that conference room on a weekend, please reach out to me. I'll gladly hold my seminar at your office in your conference room. I have about a 20 people capacity for these seminars.
Good stuff. So 21,000 tones intermediate target. That's only a bit more than 10%. Not that much in Bitcoin terms. So everything's looking good, and we finish on time. So thanks everyone for watching. And last words, Jimmy.
This song is done.